Welcome to the Rockstar Relationship Show with Keith and Jesse.
Grab your favorite drink, put down your judgy attitude, and let's rock.
All right, another edition of the Rockstar Relationship Show with Keith and Jesse. Jesse, how are you?
Amazing.
Yes. So our last episode we talked about, hey, we need to mention this deposits and withdrawal system within a relationship. And what that simply means is most men, I can speak for men because I know us way better than women, even though I think I get women pretty well.
Or this woman.
I get you really well. Asking for things from you, sex, attention, touch, time, loyalty, faithfulness, those types of things are withdrawals. I want something from you. And guys are good at asking that. Women are great at giving them that in the beginning for a while until, like any account, if you don't make any deposits, eventually it just runs dry, you're overdraft, and it's just like, hey, dude, I don't have anything left to give you because you haven't deposited or invested.
You sucked me dry.
And you sucked me dry. That was a big thing. In our last episode, I talked about having sex. You know, we have sex like a rock star. Well, you know what's interesting? We have sex 2 to 3 times a week, and which isn't even like a lot. Some people have sex every day, more rare. But in most relationships, guys I've talked to, like I haven't had sex for 6 months, or I had sex 7 times last year, or whatever.
So why?
But that's the thing. So saying I have sex, I get laid like a rock star, doesn't necessarily mean we're swinging from the chandeliers and we're doing anal and all this other crazy shit. It's just, you know what I mean? Because you're probably thinking, oh, a couple of porn stars over here getting crazy. It's not. That's not it. But it's I don't lack in that department in any way, shape, or form. And that's different than how it used to be because I wanted the withdrawal. I wanted you to want me. I wanted you to need me. I wanted you to crave me, but I wasn't investing in you in any way, shape, or form. And a big mantra for me is I want you to be able to live a life of no regrets. I want you to be empowered. Trevor-esque guys look at guys like me who say, hey, let me check in with Jessie. Let me see what she wants to do. And they think that that's like weak. And yet the Trevors are the weakest of them all. I've never, by the way, and because we deal with a lot of men and women and that type of thing, every Trevor I've met doesn't really know what their wife thinks about them.
Like, really know.
Like, really know. Not one Trevor have I met actually knows what their wife, they think they know.
That's why they're a Trevor.
Yeah, Trevors are blind. They're so blind. And I was a Trevor, so I can pick on Trevors. But they don't really know what their wife thinks because their wife will come to us and be like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to stand up for myself. They have mantras in their life that are not healthy. And yet the Trevors have no idea.
Maybe we should say what Trevor is one more time.
Yeah, so a Trevor is...
the old you.
The old me.
Who couldn't see... at all.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Selfish, self-absorbed, thinks everybody's there to serve them. Now, I would have never said that. Yeah, everybody's here to serve me. It's what my actions were. So my actions were clearly...
So you weren't giving me anything that I needed.
Yeah.
For me, it was all just take,
Now
withdraws.
yeah, exactly. So it was like, I want to have sex. I want you to come here with me. I want this. Make me this sandwich. And I never looked at you as like a slave, or I never looked at you anything like that, and would never treat you like that. But the way I showed up at times, that's
the way you acted was
the way
like
I acted.
It's not like you ever said, "Go make me a sandwich."
Never. I would never do that. I had
I'm
respect.
hungry, or
yeah.
Are you getting hungry? You just and not get up.
So.
Too many withdrawals.
Let's talk about specific deposits that men and women can make that make withdrawals so easy. Now, I want to pause here and just say something. A word from our sponsor. No, I'm just kidding. stuff we share with you here on the podcast will not work overnight.
No.
You can't get out of deep debt overnight unless you land a big deal or whatever. But that's not how relationships work. They don't end overnight, and they don't get good overnight.
Mm-hmm.
And I shared with my buddy Garrett, who I surf with every morning, and I said, I don't believe people are going to believe how much pain we've really been through because of how much pleasure we experience now.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason I said I want to pause is because I want you to know that whoever's listening to this and watching this, that no matter how bad it is, it can change if you do the work. I'm still seeing stuff happen from me to making deposits and investing in you even now.
Mm-hmm.
Like just on Valentine's Day, which was a week ago, there was things that you did that you haven't done for years, and I thought, the power of compound interest. So you will see some difference you'll see some difference right away, but these aren't Band-Aids. You have a hole in your heart. A Band-Aid's not going to fix it. It's going to take some time to get in there, fix it, heal it, and then do whatever the surgery that needs to be done, and then it's going to take time to heal. So therefore, you're still going to experience pain. If any of you have been through elective surgery or surgery that you needed, there's a recovery time. And so a lot of you need to have Trevor surgically removed from you, and there's still going to be pain moving on. You have habits, I have habits, and there's some things that we've done to each other and ways that we've showed up that if we slip back into them now, they still cause pain.
Triggering. It triggers us.
Yeah. And it's like, whoa, I don't like that about you. I don't like how you said that. Would you knock that shit off?
Okay, Trevor.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I just said one the other day tonight. But then you fixed it right away. It was great.
If she calls me Trevor, it's like the lowest. It's the lowest blow ever.
It is.
Yeah, you don't call me Trevor. But hey, I don't have to be called Trevor if I don't show up like Trevor. So what are some practical things that couples can do to start depositing and investing in each other?
Well, I would say, for example, I would literally say, can you do this? Can you do that? And, sometimes you wouldn't do it, or you would do it for a day and then kind of go back to your old ways.
Give me an example.
For me, it's, hey, can you play with Jovi? Can you just, and I don't want to have to ask you, but can you take her off my hands for a little bit? Mm-hmm. Or put your phone down. Can you put your phone down, please?
Yeah.
So those are things that I just.
Yeah.
Hey, can we go on a date? Can we go on a family date? Can we,
Yeah.
I love doing those things.
Yeah. And I love doing those things.
Mm-hmm.
I need to say another thing.
Okay.
Because you are going to be absolutely madly influenced by those who you hang out with. And I hung out with two of the biggest Trevors in the world.
Still Trevors.
And they're still massively Trevors. And I love them. I wish them, I have no ill will. Just so much love for them. But, I wish they would see that because it would change them. Mm-hmm. But they're on their journey, and I love them. And if I saw them to this day, I'd love hanging out with them and just having a good time. But I was massively affected by them. Mm-hmm. And I learned some things from them that kind of work well in the business world, but don't translate to the real world of relationships and intimate relationships. And so I think a couple of things I think that's really good. You mentioned some things that some guys can do.
Well, it's the small things, right? That just constantly the small things.
It's always the small things.
It's not just, hey, I'm going to do one thing a month.
Yeah.
It's the day-to-day, daily things that keep me connected.
Yeah. So for me, I'll share with you guys some things I did to deposit in you. Every time I say that.
Yeah, that sounded so terrible.
Every time I say deposits, I just think about
okay.
just shooting a load in you or something.
Yeah.
But okay, so here's the thing. I started making you green drinks in the morning. I started leaving just little notes around, just telling you.
Or in my car.
Or in your car. Like I would hide a little note in her glove compartment box or her little console or her little thing.
And sometimes it'd be days.
Yeah.
Until I saw it.
In the knife drawer.
Yeah.
Just little things. And I wouldn't just say I love you, though I do say that. It would be I love you because. And it's not I love you because your body's so damn sexy I want to see you naked every day. That's obvious. But it's more like especially if you guys are married to or with somebody who's really pretty or who the world esteems as very pretty, because everybody's pretty in their own way. But like obviously you're super attractive in any way, shape, or form. Like when we go out a lot, guys look at you and want to talk to you and etc. But so I don't say, wow, you're so pretty, even though I do tell you that. But I talk to you about the other things I love about you. Mm-hmm. Like I love how you're so inspired to grow. Recently, you told me how there's some things you're afraid of, but what you want on the other side of that fear is pushing you so much that you're willing to go through some of those things. Yeah. That's inspiring. I love that. Mm-hmm. Like, I really meant that when I texted that to you. So I would cut little hearts out and do them for Jovi, and I would start to get flowers on a regular basis.
And give her one.
And I would take the rose, I'd cut one off, and I'd put her in a little cup so she felt included. I started taking Jovi for hours, sometimes a day, and just be like, shoo, go do whatever you want. Get your your toes done. I meant to say toes and nails done, and it came out nose. Go
hang with my mom.
Go hang with your mom. Yeah. Go do girl things. Like, just go. I've got this. Sometimes you'll go and party with your friends and go to a concert and spend the night in LA, and it's like, I got Jovi. Or you'll come home like at 2 a.m, like, I'm cool with those things because it lets you, because here's another thing, and this is why a lot of times women have a hard time, is they lose themselves in the relationship.
I totally did. Mm-hmm.
And it's not just a woman thing. Sometimes it's a gay and lesbian that happens too. It's a man thing too. But one person will lose themselves in the other person. So I would seek to say, well, girls want to get out. They want to go have fun. They want to go drink. They want to.
Girls just want to have fun.
They want to know that a bunch of guys think they're cute. Like they still have it. You know what I mean? Like nobody says I want to get married and be frumpy as shit. You know, like
nobody says that. But that's what happens.
But it happens.
Like a lot.
And so I'm always empowering you to do things that make you feel as valuable as I see you. That you have that worth, and that you are worth a lot to me. I'll stay home on a Saturday, and I'm gonna have a blast with Jovi anyway. But you go have fun. Yeah. And that gives us our Disney moments, which we'll have to do on another episode where we talk about how powerful the Disney moments that we create are. But those are things I've decided to do to deposit in you. I find out what car you wanted. And, I made sure that we got the one you really wanted. Yeah. So that way when you're driving around, you're like, damn, this thing's fly. There are some places we'll go to eat or go do. We went to an Alanis Morissette.
Oh, my God.
Concert. Like, I would.
Did it.
I would be fine to never go to an Alanis Morissette concert.
She's on tour again,
I would be fine to never listen to one of her songs again. But we were driving to the Strip, and what happened? Boom, we see it on a billboard. We're like, we got to go to that. Now, one of the things we would do is we had a nanny that we would have spend the night. And when we lived in Vegas, we'd have her spend the night. We would go get a hotel room down the Strip, and we'd party and have a good time and cut loose like when we were dating. Yeah. As if I was trying to get you to fall back in love with me. The same way that you loved me that first couple of weeks where you just goo-goo over me. That's what I'm talking about when it comes to making deposits. And a lot of guys, you just haven't done it. And that's why I'll say guys are 97% of the problem, because it's guys, they stop showing up for their women, or they stop showing up as their most attractive self, so the woman loses attraction. You lost all attraction for me. Yeah. Obviously, you're like, I'm not attracted to you anymore. I'm repelled, and you left. Now, let's talk about what women can do to deposit and invest in their men.
We'll figure out what their love language is. Like yours is touch.
But it's got to be meaningful. That was not meaningful. That was trite.
No, stop you or hold your hand, give you a kiss or massage. I like massages too. So things like that I think you really like.
Yeah.
Like, I love feeding you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you like it more now.
Yeah.
But, and then I give you a little this or,
Yeah.
just I like doing that.
I like getting laid.
Well, yeah.
We got to state the obvious.
Touch. That's a lot of touch.
Yeah, a lot of touch, a lot of touching,
Yeah.
a lot of friction.
Yeah.
But
I also think you like date nights too. You like
Yeah.
to see me for who I am.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the other thing, especially if you have kids, is like,
Yeah.
there's a mom role that you are, and you're an absolutely amazing mom, but you're still that really hot girl I wanted to date.
Yeah. Well, that should be a whole other one
What?
in itself. Because when you lose yourself, you forget, or you stick in that mom role, or you're frustrated, but you need to go cut loose with your partner too.
Well, this is why, guys, if you stop treating her like the hot girl you want to date, somebody else will be in her DMs showing her that attention. She'll forget what that feels like.
Yeah, because you forget that you can be that way with your partner too.
Yeah.
Because you're like,
Yeah.
yeah. Like, I don't want to mom you either.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say the way women, pretty simple to just ask. It's
They'll
pretty
tell
simple.
you.
A woman will tell you, and I've asked Jesse on this on a number of occasions, what are the 3 things that if I do that absolutely make you feel loved? I know it's Jovi.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's being thoughtful, and I know it's being present. Like, thoughtful in my gifts towards you. I've been really thoughtful lately.
Yeah.
And especially since, we're in a situation where you can kind of go buy whatever you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
but
in
I
our
like-
really,
mhm, I
but
like when you
so
pay
it's
attention.
not that it's like I have to go get something big. It's I get something thoughtful. You love it when I'm a great dad, but it's because I've asked you, and I've had to ask you actually a couple times because I forget.
Yeah.
And people change.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, if there was something that was important to you that you were needing to spend time and energy and effort on, then that would probably move up into the top 3 of, hey, will you support me in my venture
Oh, yeah. That's
and
good.
my attainment of said goal?
Mm-hmm.
What is it? What I'm saying is, you matter to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a friend ask me, like, why did you check in with Jessie if we were going to go do this at our next thing? I go, oh, you mean because I value her as my partner?
Oh.
Yeah, it's just I value you.
Mm-hmm.
And when I stop valuing you, somebody else will see the value in you and want to come cash in on that.
Mm-hmm.
And how are you not going to want to be open to that? Because that feels good.
Mm-hmm.
So ways that women can help men is ask. True, even though a lot of guys aren't that great at communicating what they really, really want. I think what it boils down to is men want to be wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And men do want touch, sex, and I think men want to feel like they're supported in whatever their conquest is. At least that's the type of guys we hang out with.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a loser on the couch eating Cheetos, then none of this is going to matter.
She's not going to give it up to you.
Yeah.
That's when you start doing the things that I want, the other things just kind of fall into place, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. And most people focus on the I'm not getting this without pausing and saying, wait, how am I showing up for her?
Mm-hmm. Am I doing what she's asked?
Yeah. And have I done it not for a day and then sit there in the corner like a
Consistently.
whiny
Yeah.
bitch? Hey, man, I gave you a massage earlier. Why? But it's like, do you show up? You know what's an interesting concept?
Hmm?
I wonder if us guys could get to the point where we fill your buckets up so much that you expect it. That would be cool. I mean, that would be a great goal.
That'd be a great goal.
Meaning expecting like, oh, I didn't have a green drink this morning. I wonder if Keith's pissed. Because you're just so used to, not an expectation like you better do it or I'm pissed, but you're just like, I'm just so used to this guy loving me in the way I want to be loved. Mm-hmm. We need to break down the 5 love language, not here, not in this episode, but another episode. Guys, we have hundreds of episodes we're going to be recording and shooting for this. So with that being said, deposits, withdrawals, I would like to use a math. I love math. It's kind of driven a lot of the things I've done in the past, and it's this. Go make significant investments, deposits, and that's usually time and thoughtfulness, not necessarily money, into your partner for at least a week and probably even 2 before you even like pause and ask and say, have you noticed, or I want to withdraw. Here's why. Most likely you have been withdrawing on overdraft for so long that they're probably a little PTSD'd, and they don't even know what it's like to feel that we're so invested in you.
Well, you start to think like, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Why
what
are you
do
doing
want?
nice things for me?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you want? Yeah. That's how withdrawn they are.
Yeah. And most women will create a life of their own, on their own, within these relationships, just so they can be sane. It's a human coping mechanism. Of course they're going to do that. Nobody wants to feel like a piece of shit every single day.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the guy that treats me like trash, doesn't value me, doesn't care for me, doesn't, and then wants me just to open up and spread him for him. It's just, at any rate, you've probably seen now why I believe 97% of the problems are with the guy. Now, that might be off, but if you hold that view, it's going to make you an awesome, awesome man.
Yeah.
And if your woman doesn't show up for that and you give it all you can and she still doesn't show up, then
you tried.
Then you tried. You did your all. And that's so rare. It's so rare for a woman to get lavished with the way she wants to be loved and to just scorn it, spurn it, and do it. And that's even if you guys are broken up. There's ways to get her back, and we'll have to discuss that. Man, we have so many episodes. There's so many episodes to discuss. So, any closing comments?
That's it.
All right, go make some deposits. Congratulations on consuming another episode. If you loved it, then leave a review. If you know somebody else will love it, share the episode with them. And if you want our help or you want more resources, go to keithandjesse.com. keithandjesse.com. Jesse is spelled Jesse, like a boy.com. Go out and absolutely crush it. Have a great day. Go out and do what you got to do to make your relationship rock.